Life on Saturn presents nothing. We got nothing blue. We got nothing blue. We got nothing blue. Nope.
Yo, yiggity yo! What is good, everyone? We are coming at you once again on Life on Saturn Productions' Far Out There podcast, We Got Nothing Blue. I am your host, the psychedelic wonder that is Catalyst Jost, and I am here today with a very unique guest. She is better known as the 80s lady for her absolute love of classic music and style. I have known her for a couple years now, and she is a warm soul who is actually a very great writer at the same time. She is an editor and a staff writer for Due North, right?
Yep, it's Due North.
Due North. And what was the other one?
APN or All Points Now.
All Points Now.
Yep.
Nice. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Hales Passino. What's good?
Oh, not much, man. How you been?
I'm still recovering from the last 2 days of choices that have been made.
Choices. I like that.
Yeah, let's call them that. I prefer shenanigans, but speaking of which, how were your holiday shenanigans?
My holiday shenanigans. Well, I closed at work. I work at a Starbucks. It wasn't too bad. Usually after 5 o'clock it got kind of dead because everyone's, out trick-or-treating. If that's still a thing, I don't really know what the scene looked like for that.
Well, it's funny, actually. I was out and about that very day. There were kids walking around all of downtown. They had masks and snowsuits on, of course, classic North Country Halloween. But, yeah, trick-or-treating was still a thing in spite of people saying "nah way," and it happened right in the middle of the daytime.
Oh, in the middle of the daytime. Well, that's cool, I guess.
Yeah,
cool.
Some dude was dressed up as Chewbacca and walking around everywhere.
Did you see Panda Man? Did you see
What
that?
is that about? First time I saw it was a video, a snap on Snapchat, and I'm looking at this. Now he's appearing everywhere on Facebook and everything.
I think he's an icon.
He's
really great. Yeah, I saw him walking down. He was going past Wendy's because he stands in front of the Walmart sign or something like that. Well, the whole complex sign. And yeah, no, I think he's just spreading good vibes. He's just doing a good thing.
So what is he doing? Is he raising money for something? Is he just doing it for the hell of it?
Fuck, I really don't know. I think he's just having a good time. Kind of like the guy that had the cranberry juice and listened to Fleetwood Mac. He's just having a good time.
Facts.
I think that's just kind of like maybe the Plattsburgh Halloween version of it.
That's true, and you know what? After everything that's happened over the course of 2020, we could use some good vibes, and for anyone who just wants to be themselves and express it to the world, please, we need more of that shit.
And it was just like a special kind of freaky energy, kind of similar to what 2020's brought, but
freaky to say the least. So, I'm not too familiar with either Due North or APN. What kind of content do these magazines produce?
So, I guess I'll start with Due North. It's basically, they're both student publications, but Due North is more of a travel-based, like in the Plattsburgh area. I covered a story about a lavender field that we have up in Keysville, and I got a couple stories that I'm going to work on over winter break because I'll be an editor again next semester.
Now, when it comes to the traveling aspect, does it only pertain restrictions for Clinton County, or can you go anywhere within the Adirondack region?
I'm not so sure, but I think it used to be you kind of just have to keep the stories in Clinton County, but
that would make sense, yeah.
I think they've given a little bit more freedom to us because, I don't know, I think there were some stories that were done, not specifically in Clinton County, but I'm not too sure. That's a question for the editor-in-chief or anyone else that's not me.
That's valid.
And then APN, or All Points Now, I'm an editor for that as well, but that's kind of more like a lifestyle-based magazine. I mean, online format, of course.
Define, what do you mean by lifestyle?
Well, it's just different subjects that we touch upon, like love and relationships, health, lifestyle, fitness, We do a lot of opinion pieces too. Those are my favorite.
So it sounds like it has kind of a BuzzFeed kind of feel to it, but in magazine form.
Yeah, or if you're familiar with the Odyssey, it's kind of similar to that.
That does sound familiar. Refresh my memory.
Yeah, if you check out their page and then you check out our page, you see a little bit of a similarity there, but we have our own differences.
Right. So, like, as a fellow writer yourself, what would you agree that writer's block has been a real problem as of late in 2020? Just like in the latter months, really.
Well, yeah, like, I guess my original intention with quarantine was that, it's a lot more time to just spend writing, just writing, but it was actually kind of the opposite. I did everything but write because, there's that sense of distraction. You're watching the news, you're just hearing word of mouth from people in your hometown, like, there were just other things I was a little more focused on, but yeah, like, writer's block can be real, especially if you're going to school during this. And if you just so happen to be a journalism student, it has its moments where it's a little tricky.
What makes it hard definitely is once you add the stress and the new ebb and flow that COVID life provides, then you add in stuff like school, relationships, vocation, and all that. It makes it real hard to keep up with some of the things that really melt your stress away. I know for me personally, like, I was journaling back in March, and I think I stopped sometime in July because I had gotten a new job that recently, and between spending time with friends during the summer, because summer was really more special because you just didn't see as many people as you used to. There was kind of a nostalgia feeling for me there, and then you add in facts just like different other projects too, because you want to keep distracted from some of the negative aspects that COVID life has thrust upon us,
Yeah. I think this summer I spent most of my time in the mountains. I threw some paint on canvases here and there, but yeah, no.
It sounds like you've had a dope time, actually.
I have, yeah, I gotta say, it's been real good, but I just think, like, with the ebb and flow aspect, you kind of just have to create your own flow given the circumstances. I don't think everything is horrible right now.
I think the biggest thing that people don't realize is that vibrations are real, and in this
100%.
And in this time when we're really being tested on our own individual vibrations, it also opens the door for more energy to really be synchronized when it comes to the moments we actually interact as a community. I've said it more than once over the past few months, like one of the most powerfulest forms of energy is that you have from a synchronized community, a genuine love for those around you.
Yeah.
Definitely. And as COVID still rages on and there's stuff like the elections that are tomorrow, you see a lot more people coming together.
Well, and social media has just made everything an uproar, honestly.
Oh my God, I still cannot fathom how many times I've had some commercial or ad thrust upon me that register to vote, do this, do that. It's like, I already have. Why the hell are you still? Ugh.
Now, here's the thing, though. I think on Facebook there's a setting where you can turn off the notifications for that or the reminders.
This is a thing.
I think so. I mean, I saw a Facebook post about it, but I'm not too sure because I didn't try it out myself. But
well, the thing about it is, it's not just Facebook either. Instagram has it, Snapchat has it.
Yeah,
I never thought I'd see that.
Filters and whatnot that pertain to it, but I don't know. I gotta say though, in general, there's a lot we're focusing on. There's a lot of really important yet sometimes negative things that we're focusing on. I think when it comes to the overwhelming amount of political posts, sometimes you just gotta know when to put the phone down for a second, shut the laptop down, just give yourself that break. And I don't know, I mean, yeah, for me it just kind of feels like things are very low vibrational, but understandably so with everything.
Actually, touching upon that subject, you and I have known each other and our own personal struggles and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, for those of us who are suffering depression right now, not just from COVID life, but also from just the winter months coming in and making everything more tough to, get shit done.
Yeah.
What do you have any suggestions for those who are combating depression and anxiety?
Oh, Jesus. I think what's been helping me the most, spend as much time as you can outside. I mean, social distancing, of course, but, usually there's this little walk that I go on near my house. That's kind of my favorite go-to. I might have some friends go on a hike with me here and there. You were talking about journaling earlier, and I think that's a real important thing to be doing right now.
Yes, I feel extremely bad that I haven't been able to journal at all as of late, because that used to be a form of meditation. Hell, I've even stopped meditating for the past couple months, and
God,
that's...
I don't think I've meditated in months.
Yeah, I know.
I always tell myself I'm going to start it again, but sometimes you forget to give yourself those reminders. Hey, I need to sit down and just kind of chill for a second.
Well, the best part is what people don't realize is that meditation can come in all sorts of forms. It can come from doing basic housework. It can come from going fishing.
It's whatever brings you that inner peace.
Yeah, where you just shut off your mind and just stay in the moment with absolutely no distractions.
And I think the really beautiful thing about it is inner peace looks different for everyone.
Yeah, beauty and peace are within the eye of the beholder, really.
Yeah. Definitely. It just got real dark in here.
Got 'em good. One of the biggest changes I saw within 2020 was definitely a bigger focus on different art forms like music and writing, and you've seen how I've been doing with my poems. You're actually one of the ones who inspired me to actually do video versions of them, because nowadays hearing the author's voice recite the work is actually really more popular, because it harkens back to times when Alan Watts would give speeches on his own terms of his own thoughts on philosophy and whatnot.
Well, and then there's also fireside chats. Those were a thing. That was a thing with the president. I don't know which president, because I'm not the best with history, but that was a thing too.
Fireside chats?
Yeah, I can't remember which president it was, but it was a long time ago, early 1900s. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know what really drove me to start recording the poems. I think it was just kind of this idea where, if you have a message and you really want to solidify it, why not just say it? Because don't get me wrong, writing is a wonderful outlet. It's great. It's a great format in its own, whether you write it on the side of a wall or on a piece of paper. But when you have a voice to accompany it, I think it just really, I don't know, it just brings it more together, in my opinion.
Yeah, like I was saying before, voice work is another art form that's slowly coming back. I mean, you see more people doing podcasts nowadays, and the stuff that we're doing, actually reading our poems out loud.
Yeah.
And
I need to do more of that.
And especially going into 2021, more on the visual medium aspect, you see a lot more people doing voice acting versus live action stuff, because of social distancing still playing a factor.
Yeah, absolutely.
But when it comes to music, what do you personally look for in a band, really?
What do I look for
Or just a songwriter or artist in general?
Usually the message behind what they're putting out there. I'm in a big Bob Dylan phase right now, I'm not gonna lie. Most people know that. But yeah, I don't know. I feel besides the message of what that band or singer is putting out there, obviously the voice is a big appeal too. But
well, there was something that one of my old high school friends said once. being able to sing, that's one thing. That's a good talent, but it's not as universal and more appealing as, say, knowing how to play your own instruments, like piano, guitar, drums, something crazy like that.
Oh yeah, the instrumental sound, definitely. I mean, who doesn't love a good,
Yeah.
who doesn't love a good sound?
Who doesn't like background music?
Exactly.
Honestly, like it gives it more of a cinematic quality to it. Like
even if it's just fucking elevator music, it's better than silence.
Well, one thing that has gotten me through like my own meditation sessions, or hell, just vibe sessions, is what do you call it? Lo-fi chill hop beats, like kind of something you'd hear at Coffee Cat or whatnot. That kind of like beatbox style, but has like also.
I think I've tried listening to stuff like that before, just like in my free time. And I feel like that's not as meditative for me as my music that I listen to is.
The thing about it is there's also different aspects it can be applied to. Like there's even lo-fi chill beats for purely studying.
Yeah, I think I heard of those too. But no, honestly, anything 60s, 70s, or 80s, that's my vibe zone. Chill zone, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, what was it? Last night on my way over to my friend's place, I was in the cab and 2 Blue Oyster Cult songs played in a row, and I was just on cloud 9 just from the vibe.
Double shot weekend, right?
Yes, it was. It was brilliant. I only know 2, but hearing them both in a row, it just like it melts any sort of stress right out of the water.
So is that like your go-to band, or?
I wouldn't say so. I don't go with bands. I go with what I'm feeling in terms of song that day. Like one day I could be easily listening to something like Wu-Tang or System of a Down. The next day I'm feeling a bit of Bob Marley, Dio.
Dio's good.
Dio is amazing.
Dio's real good.
Frickin' hearing some of his songs like Man on a Silver Mountain and Stand Up and Shout. It's the kind of adrenaline that's like mad hype that makes you happy, but what's more manic in a good way.
Manic.
Yes.
Well, I gotta ask you, what's your song at the moment? Like
that I'm feeling right now?
Yeah, well, yeah, like what you're feeling right now, what's got you most inspired?
Most inspired, define.
I don't know, just to keep going every day.
To keep going every day.
Sure.
Okay. There are 2 in particular, both from the same artist. His name is Stan Bush. He did the soundtrack for the 1986 Transformer movie. And his music style is so very 80s and so uplifting. I would say definitely it has a hair metal quality to it, but the lyric wise, he goes a little bit more for power metal stuff you'd see with Dio or something like that.
Yeah.
And every time I hear his songs, either Dare or The Touch, it just sends a shockwave through my soul that absolutely lights me up with euphoria. Mm-hmm. What about you? What's a go-to song for you?
Go-to song for me lately? Let me check my phone. I got a whole playlist with this. Well, I'm going to say right off the bat, Bob Dylan. A lot of Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan.
Have you ever heard Desolation Row?
I don't believe so, no.
It's a real good one. It's like 11 minutes long because, he tends to go along with the songs. There's actually one he just released back, like, I think when the pandemic first started. I can't talk today.
Welcome to my world. I'm surprised I can speak.
It was like his longest song ever recorded. It was like 17 minutes, and it was basically just storytelling about the Kennedy assassination. I think he got an award for it.
No shit.
Yeah, Murder Most Foul. That's what it's called.
Oh my.
Yeah,
Lord.
It's crazy. Sorry, I'm just looking up the playlist right now.
That sounds like a mood song right there.
It's when you actually take the time to really fully listen through it. It's just, you're kind of just, I don't know, you're in a little bit of shock. You don't really know what to say. Because it's like, wow, that was 17 whole minutes just of a song, but I learned so much in it.
One song that did that to me in a similar way, completely same genre, different subgenre, was Disturbed's "Down with the Sickness." Like, the first time I heard that song in full form, I was shocked to my core because there's just so much rage behind the screams and the vocal style, and doing more research afterwards about it, one of the biggest influence David Draymond, the frontman, said behind one particular set of lyrics in the song was almost like a personification of society trying to grind you down and almost make you a cookie cutter version of what many would consider a model citizen, you know?
Yeah, cookie cutters. I just saw a bunch of those on sale in Target. They were Christmas themed, of course. But...
And you didn't bake any cookies for this occasion?
No. You know, peanut butter cookies with like a little bit of marshmallow in the middle. That sounds good right now.
Oh yes. One thing I used to do is I would help bake for Christmas Oreo balls.
Oh, my Nana makes those. Those are smashing. Very good.
Freaking.
Very good.
We used white chocolate and oh my god. We would have them sometimes over at Ausable's jazz nights.
Jazz nights. You know, I vaguely remember those.
I do too. Like, it was...
I think I only went to a couple of them, but...
It was nice. It had a nice feel to it, and for, like, just a bunch of kids wanting to sing and play music, it was... I would say that was one of the starts for, like, the kind of dope vibe we feel.
They should have made those more often. I think they only did them, like, twice a year, right?
Funding. What can you do, you know?
I mean, I don't think you need a ton of funding if you just want to, you know, just get up and sing in front of your classmates.
Well, you and I both know that they cared a little bit more about certain sports in that kind of school, and when it came to performance-wise, it was more the drama club.
Yeah. Oh, high school.
Oh, high school.
Anyways, have you heard Miley Cyrus's version of Heart of Glass by Blondie?
Miley Cyrus did a version of this.
She did a version of it. She's been doing a lot of cover songs lately, kind of hoping for an album to drop just based on the cover work she's done.
She's been coming back recently. I know a few months back she had a podcast session with Joe Rogan, and it was like...
With
wow.
Joe Rogan? Nice.
Yeah, I haven't seen her, like, since probably the year that, whatever that song came, Wrecking Ball. I haven't seen her in a light since.
Yeah, I don't know, but she's been doing really good stuff lately with that. I'm trying to think of what my go-to song is still. It's taken me a while, but any other bands that have been on your mind lately, or?
This one you'll appreciate. Last night, the boys and I, we were blaring Fleetwood Mac a couple times. Our friend Franz there, shout out to Franz Pope.
Franz.
I love him so much too. He suggested the 1976 live version of Fleetwood Mac, and oh my god, yeah. What was it? Rhiannon there.
Oh yes, absolutely.
That was phenomenal. It went on like an extra couple minutes, and
so
it was perfect.
So worth it. So, looking at my stuff I got here, have you ever heard the Greg Kihn Band?
No, that's a new one for me.
So they got this song called Jeopardy. Yes, just like the show. But Jeopardy's a really good one. That's a nice pump up tune. I like that one a lot. I'm trying to think what else. So Jon Stewart did a song called Gold in 1979, and he actually had Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham do backup on that.
No kidding.
That's another good one worth checking out.
Awesome.
Trying to think. The Alan Parsons Project. I recommend anything by them.
Right.
And then there's the Traveling Wilburys. That's
the Traveling Wilburys.
Yeah, it's like a super group type of thing.
Supergroup? I'm not familiar with that term.
Well, it's basically just got a mash of all types of stars in it. Tom Petty, Bob Dylan, Roy Orbison. Trying to think of who else. There's also the guy from ELO that's in that. Well, was.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
God,
Hold on, I'm just looking up. Sometimes I'm a little bad with names.
No, you good. One of the things that really set my mind back in when I was a teenager.
George Harrison, he's in it too, of course. I couldn't forget that. But yeah.
Really, he's in that?
Yeah.
Damn.
And Jeff Lynne. It's Jeff Lynne from ELO.
Jeff Lynne. Okay. Yeah, that name always confused me sometimes. I would always
a documentary on traveling Wilburys on Halloween with some friends. That's also worth checking out. I don't remember what the name of it was called, but
can that be streamed anywhere?
Oh shit! I'd have to ask whoever set it up, but it's got to be somewhere if we were able to watch it.
On the subject of music too, we're going back into dark territory here, but yes, we.
Oh, I think I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, the world of music has taken some pretty strong hits as of late.
It certainly has. It's so sad.
We gotta call that out. What was it? The start of the year, we had Neil Peart from the drummer from Rush died. When my uncles introduced them to me, I thought it had a nice sound to it, but I didn't really appreciate it. Then back in 2012, I actually got to see them live before Neil Peart, the one who recently died.
Oh wow, where'd you see him at?
SPAC, actually. And
nice.
I tell you what, hearing them live is absolutely much better than whatever any album can provide. I never thought I would actually enjoy a drum solo, but hearing YYZ right out there on the lawn, it's a completely different feel to it. It absolutely warms your soul. And knowing that I was able to experience that before, well, now no longer can anyone really experience it. It's bittersweet, but it also signifies how special those kind of moments are.
I think the real terrific thing about Rush is that, it was 3 members in the band. It sounded like so much more.
Yeah, no, they
That's a special kind of power right there.
Well, I believe so when I was in high school, I would always watch this one show called Metal Evolution. Mm-hmm. It went into depth on some of the
was that on MTV or VH1 by chance?
VH1 Classic, actually. Yes.
Yeah. Man, I haven't watched that in a while.
Yeah, it went into the different subgenres of heavy metal. Rush was on there. They were one of the pioneers for what would be called prog metal or even prog rock, just different ways to play with instruments within the genre itself.
I definitely thought you said frog rock at first. And
frog rock?
All I can think of is frogs playing drums. That's all I can think of.
No. It's a frog a cappella group.
The beach frogs.
The beach frog.
I'd pay to see them.
Frogwood neck.
Frogwood. That sounds like a road you'd find in the North Country. Frogwood Road.
Yeah, why does that sound so Adirondacks?
That's an us thing.
Jeez. And harkening back to
the sadness of
to the sadness. I would be remiss if I did not mention the fact the death of Eddie Van Halen.
Fuck, dude, that was difficult. I mean, he fought a long, hard battle with cancer. I think it was throat cancer, but I think it spread. Kind of became like lung cancer too. Don't quote me on it, but
no, just how many heavy metal artists, musical artists in general, can attribute some of their routes from Van Halen?
Fuck ton.
I know it's.
But yeah, no, and the crazy thing is, I mean, Ed smoked. He smoked a lot,
right?
And he still credits his cancer to guitar picks, putting them in his mouth.
Wait, how the hell does that work?
Well, because I think it started off as tongue cancer, throat cancer, something to do with the mouth area. And when he got diagnosed, he blamed it on the guitar pick.
Well,
I think because of the material it was made out of. But I mean, he smoked like a fiend, so I mean, sure, it could be anything, but probable guesses it was from smoking more than anything. Who knows?
Yeah. Physics-wise, and biology-wise. I'm trying to wrap my head on how that would work.
Yeah. I don't know, but yeah. I remember calling my dad the day that I found out because his son Wolfie, he put a post up on Instagram and it was a picture of Ed smiling and he's just like, I can't believe I have to write this. And I was like, no frickin' way. So I messaged my Uncle Bobby. I was like, did you see Wolfie's post? And, you know, he checked it out or he saw it earlier. I don't know. But I called Dad because he and my mom were down in Saratoga. And I was just like, listen, I don't want to ruin your trip, but did you hear this? My dad was so heartbroken. He still is. We still are.
Yeah, honestly, the day that it happened, I was over at Monopole there, and I went to a couple different bars that day. Everyone was blaring Van Halen.
I was real quiet during my editor's meeting that night. That's all I could think of.
Yeah, no, I believe I hit you up sometime that day, and
I got a few messages that day.
Yeah, I think because I didn't know when I first messaged you that it had happened. Then I saw on Facebook, and I'm like,
yeah,
I literally felt like the hole in your soul. It's like,
well, when you grow up listening to a band, or you fall in love with any band at any point, you see what's always going on with them, their work that they're doing, tours, all that shit. It's kind of like losing a loved one when they pass. I mean, that's how it felt when Tom Petty passed away. I was heartbroken over that too. But
yeah, what was it? Chester, I forget his last name. The lead singer of Linkin Park. There.
Yeah.
Like that was one that.
That one really hit a lot of people too.
Yeah, the nature of it especially was just like, damn.
Yeah.
And of course,
heavy.
Since we're going down the list there's also been David Bowie. That happened a few years back.
When you listen to his last album now, it's even more eerie.
Yeah, it also, I recently was listening to Panama and, what's that other one? I Can't Stop Loving You, and, like, all of them just hit so much more differently.
Question for you.
Yeah.
Van Hager or, David Lee Roth? Like, which one? I always love asking this question.
I'm gonna say Roth, dude.
Dude, fuck yeah.
I mean, come on.
I'm not gonna discredit Sammy. He did great stuff with them.
Absolutely.
I just, Dave's the OG. I love Dave. And he's just got this charisma that I've never seen another performer have. Like, if that's one rock star I could interview, I would be the luckiest journalist alive. That would be worth it. That'd be worth all of it.
Out of everyone from Fleetwood Mac, who would you personally want to interview? Stevie Nicks doesn't count.
No, I was actually going to pick Christine McVie.
Really?
Yes,
nice.
Definitely. Well, my thing with Fleetwood Mac is we devote so much attention to Stevie, and then I feel like the secondhand devotion goes to Lindsay.
Without a doubt. Yeah, I feel that.
And I want to hear what Christine McVie has to say.
Well, what is it? I was actually watching a dissection, an analysis video earlier from the YouTube channel The Take there. It went into the symbolism behind witches in pop culture in particular.
Pop culture.
Well, I think nowadays you see a lot of women adopt the Wiccan pagan belief system because witches in particular have been a huge symbolism for the feminist movement, especially nowadays when women are becoming even more empowered than years prior.
Oh, definitely.
Well,
I mean, I got a bag of crystals in my car, if you want to call that part of that.
Well, I would say it's part of the lifestyle, definitely. But what I feel like is definitely the quote-unquote witch or Wiccan. It's a power symbol against the modern day patriarchy.
Following.
Yeah,
Still can't talk.
No, it's a big following, and it also I also feel like there are parts that personify peace and love, without a doubt.
Peace, love, lots of hugs. I don't know.
Live, laugh, love becomes spells, brews, and I don't know, name another one. Broomsticks.
And, you know, I think like on a lot of your social media platforms like TikTok, you know, you see a big Wiccan following. You see people sharing like videos on different spells you can make or manifesting techniques. And there's like support groups and stuff on Facebook as well. I've been seeing a lot of that.
You mean covens?
Yeah, sure.
That's what I'm hearing.
Online covens, yeah.
Online covens. Did you ever see American Horror Story Coven?
I didn't. Is that the one that Stevie was in? Or she was in something. Right?
One of those, I believe so.
Man, I don't get into a lot of TV series or Netflix series. I should, though.
Well, it's hard nowadays because every series is trying to compete with one another. And you knowing this also, you got to balance your time between schoolwork, the stuff with the magazines. You got to balance, working and, again, social relationships. And on the sideline, you also want to actually write and get poems out there and stuff like that. Or just to, like, calm yourself. How can you possibly fit a television show, especially when you have people pelting you who's like, watch this, watch that, watch this? Like, give me a breath, dude.
I think on average I sleep like maybe 4 or 5 hours a night.
I couldn't do that. Like,
no, I like it that way though. I really do. Like you grow accustomed to it.
I can pull off.
If you're a nighthawk, you're a nighthawk.
I can pull off 7, maybe 6, but if I don't get a certain amount of sleep, that day I will be an emotional mess. Like, I will freak the fuck out on random stuff, and it doesn't make me feel good as a person not being able to, like, control that kind of mental state, especially when you're dead ass tired, but you know you got shit to do. It makes it more of a challenge, without a doubt.
Oh, definitely. Sometimes I like a challenge, though, but...
I have no doubt.
Oh, man. I gotta say, though, if I wasn't working in a coffee shop, I would be struggling. I would be struggling with staying awake. Caffeine is a godsend at this point.
Well, Saturn felt the same way. I mean, he was working at Walmart for a long time there, and he said once he came to the Coffee Cat...
You worked at Coffee Cat?
Yeah, he worked at Coffee Cat for years. Like, that's where a lot of his stress melted away, and he had enough time on the sidelines to, you know, come up with LOS there.
Wow. That's great. Good for him.
Him and his wife there.
Yeah, I think she came in and got a drink from me once. She's really nice.
Oh yeah, Lyd is extremely nice, and she also balances doing her painting and other art forms for life on Saturn and doing full-time jobs and stuff.
I didn't know she paints too. That's cool.
Oh,
I'll check out some of her work sometime.
Absolutely. I've seen some of her painting works. She likes to use a lot of magenta. It creates some of the most psychedelic effects on the pictures. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
But final thoughts. Going into New Year's is only 2 months away. Holy fucking shit.
Oh, what a wild ride it's been.
It has... Yeah, like when you have that basic person who like writes in your yearbook what a long strange trip this has been. This 2020 has been that long strange trip.
You're preaching to the choir.
Oh my lord, I just like it. The thing is, it's also the quote unquote apocalypse we both did not expect and did not want at the same time. Me personally, I'm still waiting for my damn zombies.
I think this is all just a rebirth.
A rebirth?
Yeah, definitely.
You think, low-key, there's been like a glitch in the Matrix or something like that?
Yeah, maybe that too. But I think it's mostly just a rebirth. I really do. I think it kind of, this whole quarantine thing, all the issues that we're facing in society right now, I think not only does some of it really reflect repetition of history, but I think also there's just a lot of perspective going on where we're kind of just figuring out, hey, we got to take a step back and like focus on ourselves as a whole. Like you can't let yourself get so caught up in the humdrum everyday life that you forget what's important.
Yeah, originally I called this the Great Pause, without a doubt, because after seeing,
Pause. I like that.
yeah, right. Well, after seeing how the skylines of stuff like NYC and Los Angeles became more clear after a few months of nobody being out there.
It's a pause, but the gears are in motion.
It is.
Because you're gonna, we're seeing a lot of changes.
Well, the biggest thing is, again, no pun intended, 2020's art is the decade to see clear. What I've been saying since day one about all this is a time where you're going to see a lot of changes in socioeconomic status, different philosophies, and COVID has thrown us a curveball in terms of like how to live life, how to what kind of forms of art can be accessible and
accepted.
Yeah, I mean, like, let's face it, a lot of us would not have made it sanity-wise if not for the different streaming platforms, music, podcasts, radio shows that have been blaring since quarantine.
If I couldn't do like the videos for my poetry, just like reciting it, I'd probably just stand outside and build up the courage to just say it wherever. I'd probably just
You mean like
that.
A public speaking kind of deal?
Yeah, sure. We'll call it that. Could just stand on a street and just start saying poetry, but I do the videos instead.
One crazy thing I used to do was
Did you also stand on the street to say poetry?
No, I was reciting different skits from my play theater days right in public.
Hey, I remember seeing you on the stage.
Yeah. Well, what is it? At the time, this was before LOS. I was in a funk. So when it came to creative outlets,
I thought you were gonna say a funk band. I'm like, fucking sick. Let's hear it.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, jeez.
I can see that happening for you.
I've never been much of a funk kind of dude. Like, it's for me.
I could see that being like a scene for you, or phase.
It's possible.
Possible.
I feel like the same thing with like my taste buds in terms of food, my food palette there. Like the same thing is gonna evolve with my music palette, without a doubt. Because I already believe that there's a time and place for any kind of music genre. Word's still out on country, sorry to say. But yeah, I mean with modern day stuff and especially dubstep type music, you're gonna see that stuff at clubs. For classic rock, dive bars, or just chilling by the fire.
Dive bars, what's that?
Dive bars would be more of a term for what like monopole is. Just a more chill environment as compared to the hustle and bustle of something like Retro Live. But
wait, so what kind of poetry are you doing recently?
Well. Yeah, not yesterday. Halloween,
Was that a repeat of the poem you did last year? Because I feel like I heard it before.
It was, but at the time I didn't have as many followers and I did not post it on Facebook there. So
you had it on Instagram before, like the year prior.
Yes and no. Last year when I did it, I did record it on Instagram Live, but I didn't save it onto my profile there. So that video was just for that one night only, unfortunately. So I wanted to recreate it. And I did like the filter that Instagram had with the darkness, the flashlight shining up. It made it 10 times more creepier, which was what I was going for.
Really brought the spook to the table.
I try. Oh God.
What do you feel like a lot of the themes are in your poems besides Halloween on Halloween?
Nah.
Because I feel like you use a special type of language with yours, where it's like it almost sounds medieval.
Well, a lot of the poems.
I feel like the words are just they're just a different sound.
I do use a lot more olden language or words and terms that not everyone uses in the modern day, without a doubt. Well, the thing about it is I hearken it back to the fact my a couple of my uncles were huge into English nerds, and that's how I got more into reading different stories like Lovecraftian fiction and getting into poems like Edgar Allan Poe, Lovecraft, H.P. Lovecraft again, and reading some of the short stories and poems back in school. I remember for ninth grade, there was a project we had to do. We had to write a letter in Shakespearean dialect there.
My teacher did not have me do that.
The English teacher
We got to work with poetry, not Shakespeare, though.
Yeah, well, I think there's a Shakespeare unit for every English unit, depending on what grade. But so the letter that I wrote, she actually used as a template for some of the future projects with that in particular.
Oh,
and
wow.
I took it as an honor,
Definitely.
And going back to the poems, I think the language is especially appropriate because the poems are definitely more about some of my more primordial fears and pleasures, without a doubt. And for some of them, I do use some of my nightmares as backdrop. For an example, what was it? The poem Egar there, Egar, was it was definitely I was going for symbolism for my own inner anger, really, because one of the things I've struggled with for a long time, especially from lack of sleep, like, has been emotional stability, especially when it comes to rage.
Mm-hmm.
Writing was a way to get that out.
It's an outlet.
It's an outlet,
it lets that voice come out that you're trying to combat.
Unfortunately, you see this with artists in any field. Trauma, and not just trauma, any event or person that makes you feel in an ecstatic, like an exponentially large amount of emotion in any form, that's where you get a lot of the creativity out, the creation. Like, I know that I've written a lot of poems where I'm just dead ass depressed or fuck the world, and then there are some days where I'm overjoyed and I'm like, wait a minute, jot down some stuff, bam, something comes out of it.
Yeah.
Well, would you feel the same?
Yeah, I don't even know how to describe my poetry. I feel like it's just a prime example of my brain going in 7 different directions, and just whatever thought I can capture and run with, I just do that, But
so as we're entering into 2021 in a matter of months, is there anything you're looking forward to for the new year, for the next year?
I want to get a book published. That's what I want to do.
No shit.
Yeah, probably just a collection of what I've done and what I haven't done yet.
A friend suggested I do the same with a few of my poems. Like, go for it, without a doubt.
Yeah,
poetry books, I feel like they're
coming back.
They're coming back, without a doubt. I just wish more people appreciated the art form. I have an uncle who does some writing too. He suggested that I should do more prose writing, and I don't know, like, the thing about poetry, and correct me if I'm wrong here too, like, it doesn't take a lot of effort, and usually most of the time it's short, sweet, to the point, and you can really play with the language, the different literary techniques and elements there too.
It's storytelling, essentially.
Yeah, it's a very vanilla form of writing. Like, you can really throw a lot at the canvas, and you never know what'll pop up, and I feel like that's one of the beauties of it.
Yeah, there's a lot of excitement that comes into play when it's poetry, because, you could write something that's only 4 lines short or 10 lines long,
Well,
It's just kind of, I think a lot of it has to do with the type of content you're writing about. I mean, Bob, for example, is an activist. A lot of it was very, political and societal based issues.
Not just that. This was pointed out to me by one of my friends. Shout out to Nicholas Keroy there. What he was saying is, giving me critiques on my poems, is that, like you were saying about the olden style language, that doesn't always resonate with people. Like, for some people, they kind of like more your style of poetry that tells the story but uses more language that more modern people would get.
Yeah.
Like, you flat out say what you're feeling with your poems. Me, I try to make people dig a little bit more deep. You kind of
give a little bit of a mystery to it. Just a little bit, though.
I try, because I feel like that's always been, for me personally, I've always been better at that kind of storytelling, making people dig for the hitting layers with that versus flat out like shouting it to the sky,
to the void.
To the void.
And I mean, like, I don't necessarily resonate with the olden language, but I definitely have a deep appreciation for it because, you know, it's different from a lot of the poems that I'm reading and seeing and taking in and making myself.
There are definitely forms of art that you can absolutely love, but not necessarily like
it's not
find
right up your alley.
Yeah, find a sink in it. Like, what is it? I enjoy this like rap style. It's pretty much a poem being said to a musical beat, and you can control the tempo of it.
Yeah, the tempo definitely.
I'm decent at improv, but I know I couldn't be able to pull that off. It's like,
well, you can't say never.
Oh, you challenging me now?
I think it's worth a shot, honestly. Why not?
Yeah, okay. So, with that being said, between discussion about 2020, the future, music, and writing, flat out, folks, we got nothing. So, if you'd like to see more content provided by the awesome Hales Passino, follow her on Instagram at the 80s Lady.
Ooh, it's actually not it anymore.
Oh, is it Haha Hailstorm?
No, it's just Hales Passino.
Oh, just Hales Passino now?
Just Hales. We're just going a different direction with it.
So follow her at Hales Passino. She also posts her poems on Facebook when she does them.
They just kind of go everywhere.
Right, and as for Life on Saturn, to see more projects, follow us at Life on Saturn Productions on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And if you want to see more content from me, follow me at Catalyst Jost on Instagram, CATALY 5TJ05T.
My brain could not process that.
I know. I've always been more of a fan of using numbers for letters. It has such a weird vibe to it, but that's what I'm into. Nice. So, as always, please keep your vibes good, keep your zen flowing, and peace out.
Hey, I'm Saturn Lunar Nova. Be sure to follow Life on Saturn Productions on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook to see our short films and music videos. Peace.